The Ryder Cup was supposed to be golf's proudest showdown, but on September 27, 2025, everything changed. Rory McIlroy's wife, Erica Stoll, was struck by a flying drink as chaos erupted at Bethpage Black. Spanish TV footage didn't just capture a spilled beer. It caught a stunned Erica leaving the 17th green in tears, her dignity attacked alongside her husband's. Was this a tragic accident in a wild crowd, or the moment sports crossed an unforgivable line? With security already called insane and family members dragged into the firing line, this isn't just about heckling, it's about whether anyone is truly safe at golf's biggest stage. And as outrage simmers, the toughest questions have only just begun. At the 17th green, the noise was a wall. Cheers, jeers, the kind of chaos Bethpage Black had promised all week. Then, in a split second, the crowd's energy turned violent. A drink, beer by the look, arced from the gallery and struck Erica Stoll's hat. The impact wasn't hard enough to knock her down, but it was enough to freeze her in place. Shock written across her face. Spanish TV's Movistar cameras caught the whole thing, the liquid spraying, the stunned pause. Erica turning, eyes wide, searching for what just happened. Was it a deliberate throw or a drink swatted loose in the surge? The video replay doesn't settle it. Some angles show a hand, maybe shoving, maybe launching. Others catch only the aftermath. Erica flinching, then recoiling as the crowd's roar swallows any apology or explanation. Around her, security marshals and family members scrambled. Rory, still locked in competition, caught sight of the commotion. For a moment, the game stopped mattering. Erica, usually composed and unflappable, was in tears. She pulled her hat low and walked away from the green, escorted by staff, her exit as public as her humiliation. The rest of the wives and partners closed ranks, silent and tense. The sacred line, families off limits, wasn't just crossed, it was obliterated, right there on live broadcast. In that instant, the Ryder Cup's rowdiest crowd became something else, a mob that had reached beyond the ropes. No one was ejected, no arrest made. The drink had landed, but the real damage was trust, shattered in front of millions. The question of intent would linger, but the facts were plain. Erica Stoll, a wife and bystander, left the 17th green in tears, a casualty of a sport that had lost control. By Saturday, the gallery at Bethpage Black had mutated from boisterous to outright hostile. The first tee MC, Heather McMahon, didn't just warm up the crowd, she weaponized it, leading a stadium-sized "F.U. Rory" chant that echoed through the pines and over every fairway. It wasn't banter, it was a coordinated campaign. Fans, emboldened by the MC and fueled by steady streams of beer, hurled insults with surgical precision. Every shot, every step, every glance from a European player sparked another wave of abuse. Personal attacks weren't whispered, they were roared, targeting Rory's marriage, his family, his very presence on American soil. Security, for all its insane numbers, looked more like window dressing than a real line of defense. Marshals lined the ropes, earpieces in, but their authority stopped at the edge of the crowd. With nearly 50,000 fans pressing in, the so-called buffer between players and public dissolved into a single, pulsing mob. Organizers had promised rowdy. What they delivered was a powder keg. The lines blurred further with every round. Alcohol flowed, tempers flared, and what started as heckling became a contest of who could cross the line loudest. The MC's encouragement was gasoline on an already raging fire. Security's presence, New York State troopers, private guards, even undercover staff, meant little when the crowd decided the family section was fair game. The marshals' radios crackled, but by the time they reached the 17th green, the damage was already done. When the drink finally struck Erica Stoll, it felt less like a random act and more like the inevitable result of a week spent stoking the flames. Bethpage Black wasn't just a golf course anymore. It was a stadium, a stage, a battleground where the old rules of golf, respect, restraint, protection for families, were trampled underfoot, sacrificed for spectacle and tribal loyalty. Rory McIlroy didn't hesitate. Within hours of the incident, he faced reporters and drew a line that should never have needed drawing. "Family must be off limits," he said, voice clipped, jaw set. The words landed with a force that no crowd could drown out. He called the behavior completely unacceptable, making it clear that what happened to Erica was not just a breach of etiquette, but a violation of something deeper, something sacred in the world of sport. He didn't just defend his wife. He painted her as the one who showed real strength. Erica is fine, a very strong woman, handled everything with class and poise and dignity. The praise was public, the protection unmistakable. Rory's message wasn't just for the cameras. It was a warning shot to anyone who thought the mob could reach beyond the ropes without consequences. There's some behavior that should absolutely be off limits, but obviously it wasn't this week. Yet as the headlines churned and social media boiled, one voice stayed silent. Erica Stoll, at the center of the storm, offered no public statement, no interview, no social post. Her experience, real, raw, documented in slow-motion replays, remained filtered through the men around her. Teammates like Shane Lowry and Justin Rose praised her composure and dignity. Journalists repeated Rory's assurances, but Erica herself? Not a word. The silence was deafening. In a week where everyone seemed to have an opinion, the person most affected was spoken for, not heard. The victim's story became a proxy war. Her distress described, her resilience admired, her voice missing. As outrage mounted and the debate over boundaries raged on, Erica's absence from the conversation became its own kind of statement. The line had been crossed, but her side of the story remained just out of reach. The European locker room wasted no time. Shane Lowry, red-eyed and still simmering, called Erica Stoll's composure the only real class on the course that day. Justin Rose, usually measured, flatly condemned the crowd's cruelty. One after another, teammates stepped forward, not just to comfort Erica, but to draw a hard line for the sport. The message was unmistakable. Families are sacred, and what happened at Bethpage Black was a disgrace to golf's supposed code. No one in blue or gold minced words. The squad's rebuke was instant and united, a wall against the jeers and the organizers who let it happen. In interviews, European players described the scene as shameful, their disbelief sharpened by the fact that not a single fan was ejected or arrested. The drink struck Erica, the crowd howled, and security did nothing. No marshal pointed a finger, no police officer stepped in. The accountability gap gaped wide. On live TV with millions watching, the line was crossed and left undefended. The debate outside the ropes turned vicious. Was the drink thrown on purpose, or just the chaos of a crowd gone wild? Frame by frame, pundits dissected the footage. Some insisted it was a drunken accident, a beer swatted in the frenzy. Others saw it as a targeted act, the inevitable end to hours of incitement. But the outcome didn't change. Erica Stoll, a bystander, left in tears, and the perpetrator vanished into the sea of faces. For many, the incident was more than a one-off. It was the moment golf's old world, decorum, boundaries, family sanctity, buckled under the weight of spectacle and tribalism. The Ryder Cup's brand of patriotism had mutated, and the sport's moral center was suddenly up for grabs. The question now, if organizers and fans won't defend the line, who will? On September 27, 2025, Spanish television footage confirmed that a drink struck Erica Stoll, Rory McIlroy's wife, on the 17th green at Bethpage Black. The incident, which left her visibly shaken and in tears, unfolded amid what players described as a chaotic and abusive Ryder Cup atmosphere. Despite an insane security presence and repeated warnings about fan hostility, no ejection or arrest was reported, and no official statement from Erica Stoll herself has been released. Rory McIlroy called the behavior unacceptable and emphasized that families should be off-limits. Teammates, including Shane Lowry and Justin Rose, publicly supported Erica and condemned the crowd's conduct. Yet, key questions remain. How did a projectile reach a player's spouse? Why were security measures ineffective? With the line between passionate support and unacceptable aggression now blurred, the 2025 Ryder Cup set a new and troubling precedent. As organizers review protocols, one fact stands clear. Targeting players' families cannot be normalized, regardless of intent or outcome.